Welcome back children to another class in English. Today we will do from grammar chapter number 5. The name of the chapter is noun number. So as we are going to deal with noun chapter again, so let me revise once again before we start with a new topic. So children, we did in our last class, we learned what is a noun. So noun is a naming word. So it means that when we name any person, place, animal or thing, we call it a noun. So noun are of 5 kinds. They are proper noun, common noun, collective noun, abstract noun and material noun. So once we know all this, now we will see what do we mean by number in a noun. Yes, the noun number. Now, there are two kinds of number. First is your singular number and second is your plural numbers. Yes, what is the definition of singular number? A noun standing for one person, animal, place or thing is said to be in the singular number. Like, for example, ball. That means one ball, bird, one bird, lion, one lion. So, all this will be in singular number. What is plural number? Plural number is a noun which is standing for more than one person, animal, place or thing is said to be in the plural number. For example, balls. When I say balls means more than one ball. It may be 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Then birds and lions. So when we are using the plural number, we are adding s to the nouns to make it more than one. Yes, now we will see one by one the rules how to form the plural noun. So rule 1 says that by adding s we can make a plural noun. Like here one single noun was ball and for making it plural we have made it balls by adding s to it. Similarly bird. Bird has become birds. Day has become days. So this way we are changing from singular to plural. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 says that nouns that end in a hissing sound, that means the hissing sound should be there after the last letter of a word, we add es to such words to make it plural. Like bus. So you can hear the sound like bus when I am saying us. So that hissing sound is coming there at the end. So we are changing it into plural by adding es. So we have written buses. Class. Class becomes classes. Dish. Dish become dishes. So we are adding es to all those nouns where it is ending with a hissing sound. Rule number 3. Rule number 3 says that nouns that end with o, we add es. So whenever we get any such word where it is ending with o letter, we add es to form a plural noun. Like tomato. Here you see it is ending with o, the singular noun. Tomato means one tomato. So we are changing to plural by adding es to such word. So it becomes tomatoes. Then we have potato. Again it is ending with o. So we make it potatoes. Hero. It becomes heroes. So we learned rule number 3 ending with o. We are adding es. How to form plural noun. Rule number 4 says that nouns that end with f or fe, we remove f or fe to make it plural noun, and in step 2 we add ves. So we are removing f or fe, singular form noun, and we are adding ves instead of that to make it plural. So the example is like grief. Here you find that we are ending with f And when we have to make it a plural form, we are adding VES, that is grieves. Then life becomes lives. Wolf becomes wolves. So FE is removed, or F is removed. To make it plural, we are adding VES. Rule number 5. Nouns that end with Y without vowels before it. That means we know what are the vowels. They are A, E, I, O, U. So if these letters are not before Y, then how we make it plural? There we remove Y and we add IES instead of Y. So here in example, city. So here Y, before Y, as we learnt that before Y there should not be any vowel. So here T word is, T letter is there, which is a consonant. So city becomes cities. Baby become babies. Again you find before Y we have a consonant letter, that is B. Army. Again before Y we have a consonant letter M. So it become armies. So the nouns that end with Y without vowels before it, the Y is removed and we add IES. Rule number 6. The nouns that end with Y. Now here we will have a letter vowel before Y. So there we are only adding S. Like for example, when I say monkey, here you see before Y the letter is E, which is a vowel letter. So only we are adding S after Y to make it plural. So monkey become monkeys. Again toy, we have a letter O before Y, that is a vowel. So toy become toys. Now there are some nouns which do not follow any of the mentioned rules, okay, and their plural forms have to be remembered. So when I say a child, I mean single child, but when we have to make it plural, we make it children. So children means more than one child. Foot, when it is in pair we write feet. Tooth, more than one tooth, teeth. Mouse means one mouse, but so many mouse if we want to say, we will say mice. Goose becomes geese. Man becomes men. So here we find that we haven't used any of the previous rules, rather they have been changed in a different way. So you have to remember the plural form of all these words. Some words which remain same in their plural form, like for example, if I say a deer, that means a single deer, means one deer. But even if we have to tell in a plural form, suppose there are more than one deer, it will remain deer only. Similarly, sheep will remain sheep, fish will remain fish. Now there are some words which are always used in plural. It doesn't have a singular one. Why? Because they are in pairs. Okay, they are two in numbers, like scissors, spectacles, trousers, shorts and news. So all this will always remain like, if I say today I received one news, that will also be a news, but today I received so many news. So again news will again remain news only. So here there will be no change. It will be only in the plural form as they are in pairs, but in news there is a rule that should also be used with S form only. We don't write new, otherwise the meaning will change. Some nouns, they don't have plural form, like furniture. When I say furniture, it means all the pieces like center table, sofa set, all this will consist as a furniture. Even scenery, we don't have a plural form of it. Scenery is also written either in a singular or in a plural form. Now next topic deal with is countable and uncountable nouns. So let us see what does it mean. When I say a countable noun, anything that can be counted. So when we are able to count like 1, 2, 3, 4, that is called a countable noun. Like if I say a dog, I mean a single dog. So we are able to count. House, a friend. So these things are which we can touch or we can count. So these are called countable nouns. But or the plural form of the countable nouns will be like a few books. Means there are some books, lots of oranges. So there are so many oranges. So we even use such words to express the countable nouns like lots and a few. What are uncountable nouns? These are substances, concepts like ideas, etc. that we cannot divide into separate elements. We cannot count them. Okay. So if we are not able to separate, then we are also not able to count it. So such are uncountable nouns. And sometimes we use some words or some terms to express this uncountable nouns, to express a quantity, to show how much it is. So we use the words in uncountable like some, much. Now when I say some or much, so much is generally used for uncountable nouns. A lot of, so a lot of may be used again for uncountable. A bit of, many, again for uncountable nouns. Now for example, when I say bottles of milk, so if milk is kept, we cannot count, but if it is inside a bottle, we can count it. So bottles of milk, liters of milk, grain of rice, a piece of news. So these things are uncountable. For such uncountable noun, we use such words to express us like bottles, liters, grain, piece. Now uncountable nouns, sometimes to express, as I told you, again a quantity of uncountable, we use exact measures. Like when I say a pinch of, means when we are giving a pinch of small amount, that is a pinch of. So that refers to uncountable nouns, that expression we are using. A cup of, a bag of, a spoon of, a kilogram of, a piece of, like this. Okay. So these are called partitive nouns. Like when we use such words to express the quantity of uncountable nouns, we call it partitive nouns, and we tell those uncountable nouns by using such words. So my father scolded me in a fit of anger. Now anger is again an uncountable noun, so we use the word fit. Please pass me a bowl of rice. So rice is also uncountable, so we are using a bowl of. So such words are known as partitive nouns. So partitive noun and the uncountable nouns that go with them are like a piece of advice, a pang of sorrow, a bowl of soup, a cup of coffee, an hour of work, a heap of sand, a loaf of bread, a scoop of ice cream, a cloud of smoke, a block of ice, an act of kindness, a spoonful of butter. So here you find that there are uncountable nouns like advice, sorrow, sand, coffee, work, bread, cream, smoke, butter, kindness, for which we have used the words, that is partitive noun words, which we use to express the uncountable nouns. So children, you might have learned today the noun number. So various rules I told you today, I showed you how to change it. So you are advised to go through the video carefully and revise the chapter which is there in your book along with the examples. And you are also advised to do the exercises 1, 2, 3 given in the chapter on page numbers 32, 33 and 35 in the book itself with the pencil. And if you don't have the book, you may use the copy. And till then, keep on learning. Bye.